And this is a question that someone asked. Does God have a God? Ask a Muslim or a Christian, does God have a God? Does the devil have a devil? Well, the question is, God that has a God. First of all, you got to define God, okay? And it means a supreme being, creator, right? All knowing, all knowledgeable, right? And in fact, the word God is really not, the term God is not really anything powerful because it comes from the Guma Azdabar, wisdom, strength, and beauty. It's all things that a man can have or a woman can have, right? God also comes from theos, which is Greek also, which means a theory. So we really don't want to use that word, but the person termed it in that context, saying God. Does God have a God? Well, according to the Bible, God is the all that exists, right? He is the Most High, right? He is the Most High. But in reality, as above, so below, everybody is always hierarchies. You see, and when you talk about God in the Bible, a false God. When you go into the hidden text or the Gnostic text, it tells you that this God, right, was an aborted fetus, if you will, of the divine feminine, right? The Shekinah. This is going to metaphysics of Christ and the apocalypse. This is the hidden teachings. This is the stuff you're not going to find in the Bible. The divine feminine wanted to create a creature of her own without the divine masculine, right? So she went and conceived on her own without the consent, which was an unnatural procedure. Everything must take place through the union of the masculine and feminine. So she created a monster called Yaldabaoth, or the demiurge. And it came out grotesque. It was not fully developed. It looked like a maggot. If you look at one of the first stages of a baby, when it's not even an embryo, it's still a zygote. If you Google it right now, it looks like a form of a worm or some type of snail maggot, right? So she was horrified and tried to sweep it under the rug, right, so to speak. Metaphysically, she shrouded it in triple darkness, right? Put it away in a dark place with all of these layers of darkness. So none of the other principalities could see what she did. So as this being began to, exercise its divinity and create a realm, right? It made itself God, right? And it thought itself to be one and alone. So he said, behold, I am one and alone. And he created all these principalities called the archons. And the higher principality said, no, Yaldabaoth, you are not the Most High, and you are not alone. You are blind. This is where he takes on the attribute known as sackless, the blind God. The blind God. So when we talk about God, you're talking about yes and no, right? He has a God, but he's blind and he's shrouded in darkness, thinking that he's God, and that's the God of this third dimensional world, third density, Yaldabaoth, or the demiurge, ruled by ego. Why is he ruled by ego? Because he was created from a place of ego, from the Shekinah or the divine feminine that wanted to do something on her own without the consent of the divine masculine. It was ego. So she did that. So he is the embodiment and the fruit of the ego of the Shekinah. That is God. Yeah, he doesn't have a God, but yet he does. But he can't see. He's disconnected. Not only is he shrouded in darkness, he's also was born out of ego and born out of without the connection and the input of the divine masculine, the Father. So this is why he is the way he is. See? Do we have a universe within us that contains solar systems and planets and life? The universe is constantly expanding and contracting. So does that mean we would be God's? Absolutely, you guys your own universe. Absolutely. Yes. We really don't need to be concerned but so much about the cosmic aspect and the sun, moon, and stars and galaxies and universes and quasars and nebula and all this stuff, because all that exists right here on Earth, right? Your relationship to the planet, your relationship to people, your relationship to entities, it's all right here. So when you look up and out, you're really looking down and in.